Hello everyone, Aaron here from Push Square, and this is the PlayStation Portal, which has just received a massive update which finally allows players to cloud stream their games if they have a PS Plus premium subscription. Now in this video I'm going to walk through the installation process and test out the cloud streaming on a couple of games. This actually took quite a while, the installation process. Of course, I can't just sit and do nothing. I had to whip out the Rubik's Cube, which, if you couldn't tell, I've recently learned how to do. But once the actual installation had completed, it was stuck in this logo for a long time. We're bringing the Rubik's Cube back out. There we go. But yeah, this is a very unexpected update, a very welcome one. It's kind of insane that this is something that it can just patch in with a software update. But here we are. Yeah, so once you have updated this, installed the new update, now this is not available everywhere, and this is a beta at this time. It's steadily rolling out across various countries. I'm here in the UK, so I got this straight away. But yes, once you have actually got it installed, you have to go into the settings and enable cloud streaming. It's not enabled by default. Once that's on, it actually made me log out of my account and then log back in, which is, sure, a bit annoying. Doesn't take too long though, considering that you can actually just sign in through the PlayStation app. It changes this little starter menu here. You now have the choice between remote play and cloud streaming. I love this. I think this is such a cool inclusion to change after such a long time, a year now. But here you can see we have the sign-in process with the QR code. I am not going to show you my sign-in details. Now, when it comes to the cloud streaming here, this is going to be completely unedited, so I want to show you how long it takes. I have a pretty decent internet connection, but through Wi-Fi we're talking roughly 200 up, 200 down. But there you have, we're in the cloud streaming beta, and there are about 220 games that you can stream at this point. Here's just a few of them as we go through here. But this is such a massive feature to be included here if you have PS Plus Premium. Obviously there's some oldies in there, some PS3, PS2, PS1 games, so that means you can stream those as well. Now I picked Ghost of Tsushima to play for my first one, and this is like I said, unedited on how long it actually takes to start the games. I found it to be a fairly similar experience to what happens if you're cloud streaming on the PlayStation 5 as well, which can be kind of slow. It can take a minute, 2 minutes. Generally speaking though, not too bad I guess, because this is vastly changing the experience of the PS Portal. Now it's not just a device that is useful in very niche circumstances. If you have the PS5 on at home, it's connected to the internet, and you have internet connection as well. Now you can take this thing wherever you want, and as long as there is a stable enough internet connection, you can stream these games. Now obviously there is a limited selection of games, but even still, you've got some big hitters like Ghost of Tsushima, Dead Island 2. What's the next one I test out? Death Stranding Director's Cut. Now, did you see that white blocks there? That did actually happen a couple of times when I was testing it out. I think this is going to be dependent on the internet connection. Generally speaking though, this looks great. Of course, it's an LCD 1080p 60 FPS screen, so that's as much as you're going to get through cloud streaming on this device. But even still, I think this looks really good. It runs smoothly, as you saw from the fast travel there. That was really quick as well. Weirdly, to get out of a game, you don't press the home button. You have to swipe here and then close the game. You might have seen there an option for max resolution as well. That allows you to change between 1080p and 720p. So maybe if your internet's struggling, you can drop down to 720 to have a smoother experience. Now I'm going to flick through some of the games here as well. There you have The Last of Us Part 1, The Witcher 3. I'm sure I saw Chivalry 2 in there at one point as well. There's a bunch of different games and quite a nice variety as well. I'm actually quite keen to try out Dredge at some point, or even I'm pretty sure I saw one of the Resistance games as well. There's a nice variety in here for you to try out. A lot of indie games, a lot of big games, open world stuff, narrative stuff. And all of that's just accessible through the cloud streaming beta. So I'm going to try out Death Stranding next. And again, I'm going to leave this unedited to see how long it actually takes. That means we'll be busting out the Rubik's Cube once more. Very surprised by how much this is done by like formulas, they call it. Or was it formulas or... yeah, let's say formulas. A few different things if you're really interested in doing the Rubik's Cube. It's not that hard once you kind of figure things out. I hadn't done this in about a week or so. I got me a fast cube, if you know what those ones are. I'm sure you're really riveted by this Rubik's Cube content here, but this is just what I'm doing to pass the time when I'm waiting on this connecting. There we go. So, booting up once more with Death Stranding Director's Cut. The haptics are feeling great. The sound on the PS Portal itself is alright. I actually have a couple of the PS, the little wireless headsets that connect to this, which I find to be quite good. But the sound on the device itself isn't too bad. And through the cloud streaming, it's loading up and stuff like really, really quickly. Like there you can see, I haven't played this game in a while, so I'm getting a bunch of different new things added to it. And you're right in it. Now, I'm pretty sure at this bit you do actually see another one of those little blocks at what there was a little glitch there in the visual performance of the stream. I completely botched this here. I just wanted to go on the zipline and I completely missed it. Thankfully I didn't fall too far. As I mentioned though, responsiveness is really good, haptics are there, I have about 200 download speeds, and what you're about to see here is another one of those visual glitches like that. I had that a couple of times during this little PlayStation here, but then also testing out other games, so that's going to crop up here or there depending on the internet speeds, maybe if you have speeds that are a little slower. But generally speaking, the actual resolution or the sharpness of the image remains quite well when I was playing this. I am playing this next to the router, so you know, take from that what you will. I'm not testing this out at this point anywhere further afield with lesser internet, so maybe that's something we should be looking into further down the line. But I have to say, generally speaking, this feels like a far quicker and more like efficient way. It's sort of similar to the remote play itself. It can be done in other places, but it feels best on the Portal. And I kind of feel like this is a nice, better version of the cloud streaming. I'm not really big into cloud streaming on the PlayStation 5 itself. I get that it can save some storage, but I'd just rather download them if I can. Obviously that's not possible with the PS3 games. But yeah, I have been generally quite impressed. It's a really welcome addition to the PS Portal. I think it's going to add a lot of value to this thing. As you can see, this is looking great, it's running great, and it was accessible in a fairly short period of time. So that's been the video. I'm going to close this now, but thank you everyone for watching. Let me know if there are any games that you're planning to play with the cloud streaming down below, and while you're there, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more PlayStation video content. Anyway, until next time, I've been Aaron, and this has been Push Square.